scrutiny, scrutiny, suspend, suspend, string, string, dispute, dispute, sanction, sanction, regulatory, regulatory, sequel, sequel, stunned, stunned, intricately, intricately, digital, digital, landscape, landscape, box office, box office, reef, reef, wetland, wetland, inspire, inspire, dazzling, dazzling, statehood, statehood, binding, binding, territory, territory, sovereign, sovereign, aligned with, aligned with, force, force, launch, launch, missile, missile, knock out, knock out, blackout, blackout, hover, hover. Elon Musk faced more scrutiny after suspending journalists from Twitter. This week, Twitter abruptly suspended a string of journalists. Many of the journalists, including from the Washington Post and New York Times, had written about a dispute involving Elon Musk. Officials on both sides of the Atlantic criticized Musk, threatening fines and sanctions. The silencing of prominent voices could raise the regulatory heat on Twitter, and possibly Musk's other companies, including Tesla and SpaceX, which is a big recipient of government funding and projects, and hurt Musk's push to get reluctant advertisers back onto the platform. 13 years after Avatar, its sequel arrives in theaters. James Cameron's 2009 film stunned audiences with intricately rendered digital landscapes and went on to smash box office records. Now, The Way of Water, his second film set on the moon Pandora, was officially released on December 16th. It picks up the story and carries it to the moon's reefs and wetlands, an environment that inspires some new and dazzling effects. The film's new setting and characters add new depth to a familiar world. House passes bill that could lead to statehood for Puerto Rico. The legislation would establish a binding referendum allowing the territory to choose statehood, independence, or a sovereign government aligned with the United States. The bill is unlikely to pass the Senate. Russian forces launched dozens of missiles, knocking out heating systems across Ukraine and prompting the national utility to impose sweeping emergency blackouts. Well over 1 million Ukrainians were left without power, including in Kremenchuk, where temperatures hovered below 14 degrees. Probe, probe, allegation, allegation, disseminate, disseminate, provoke, provoke, referral, referral, incitement, incitement, insurrection, insurrection, fierce, fierce, cyclone, cyclone, unleash, unleash. Arctic, Arctic. Blizzard, blizzard. Respondent, respondent. Halt, halt. Throng, throng. The January 6th House Committee voted to refer Donald Trump to the Justice Department for criminal charges. Key findings of the panel's 18-month probe included allegations that the former president disseminated false claims of fraud related to the 2020 election, provoking his supporters to violence on January 6. The 4 criminal referrals, the first time such recommendations have been made against a former president, include incitement of an insurrection. Fierce bomb cyclone to disrupt holiday travel, unleash Arctic outbreak. The storm could bring blizzard conditions, life-threatening cold, extreme wind chills, and travel headaches for large parts of the lower 48 states. Elon Musk's Twitter poll shows users want him to step down. The poll showed that 57.5% of respondents want him to leave as head of the social media platform, bringing it fresh uncertainty. World Cup homecoming brings Argentina to a halt. Millions of fans thronged the streets of Buenos Aires, forcing an early end to the Argentina men's national team's 50-mile victory tour after its 3rd World Cup title.